The big question about retirement, right? How much money do I need? Have I saved enough? Am I ready to retire? Can I retire now? Our next guests are 4 years away from their retirement, and they have those very same questions. And they're seeking advice from our expert. Joining me now is Harvest Financial Group Chief Financial Officer Patrick Peason and our couple, Cliff and Patricia Copper. So, Cliff and Patricia, thanks for coming on the show. It is great to have you here. You guys have had a very successful life by any measure. Tell us what your question is and what your situation is.
Well, I want to retire in 4 years, 2 months, maybe 2 days, but I'm not counting.
That's pretty specific, my friend.
So what should I be doing at this point in my life?
Right. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about your finances, because you have combined salaries of $118,000, assets of $1.4 million, a net worth of $766,000, debt and liabilities of $626,000. Clifford, to you, what is that debt from?
From rental houses, our own primary house, and we have one car.
So this is mostly sort of investments you made along the way that have a little drag to them, real estate.
Right.
When I look at your monthly expenses, and I want to show that full screen here for a second, it looks like you've got that pretty well under control too. Your total monthly expenses are under $5,000. Is there any of those expenses like mortgage or anything else that's going to go away anytime soon?
I'll tell you, I'll defer to my accountant who's sitting right next to me.
All right. All right, Patrick, to you, what's your advice to these folks? They want to retire. They're done. They're ready to go. What do you say? Can they?
Well, first of all, they've done a great job taking care of their children and helping them out while they're young. And I think that's the time to help our children out, to help them get established when they need that help.
But now?
So now with retirement looming, their situation, I think the first thing is to start to pay down some of the debt on their mortgages. They have $164,000 sitting at 0% cash in the bank, and they have a $30,000 lot they just sold. Their primary mortgage is $207,000, so if they apply that money to their primary mortgage and leave an emergency fund of $20,000 in the bank, that would leave them a balance of about $30,000. Now, Patricia is currently paying $700 a month extra toward principal on that mortgage. So if she continues to do that, they'll be debt-free on their primary home in about 2 or 3 years. That's a big step in the right direction.
All right. So you also say and talk a little bit about they think they're going to be good under Social Security, that they've got everything they need, and that they don't really have to worry. Do you agree with that?
I think they're underestimating that a little bit. They say they need $50,000 to live comfortably in retirement, and that may be true because that's what they're living off now.
$50,000
a year, yes.
And is that okay?
Well, it may be okay 4 or 5 years from now, but what about 10, 15, or 20 years from now? And I think they have to keep in mind that they need an inflation hedge, because Social Security, Gerri, yeah, it has an inflation hedge, technically, but they raise Medicare Part B in proportion with that, so it's really a wash. So what they have to look forward to enhance the income in retirement is Cliff's IRA and 401k balance, which is currently about $220,000. Cliff, are you contributing to that 401k currently?
Yes, I am.
How much a year are you contributing to it? Do you mind if I ask?
10% of my salary now.
Which is how much per year?
Which is about $10,000.
Okay. So if you work another 4 years, that's an additional $40,000 you'll have in your 401k, the NIRA. If you get zero interest, and we'd be really pessimistic about it, your Social Security income combined is $42,000 per year, and your pension is $10,000 a year. That's $52,000. That's what you think you can live off. But the inflation hedge will come from your IRA and 401k balance. If you get zero interest over the next 4 years, you'll have $260,000 at least in that account. If you shift it over to income-generating investments and follow the 4% cash flow rule, you can draw out an additional $11,000 or $12,000 from that account. Now, you'll have $64,000 in retirement.
So I got to tell you, I think they've done really well. They have assets of $1.4 million, a net worth of $766,000. It's all about managing it now and doing it the right way. It's not about scrambling, I don't think, at the end of the day to make sure you're going to be okay. But I just have a quick question for you guys, which is, are you still giving money to your kids or no?
Yes.
I knew it. I knew it. Parents are always doing that. All the money goes to the kids. Listen, guys, thanks for coming on the show tonight. Really appreciate your being here. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
And if you have a